Walking down the hallways, students know me as Mr. Nunes. I'm currently substituting as a third grade teacher, and I'm head of the Department of Business Service. I want to focus my unit on persuasive writing. Students from last year involved faculty administration when creating the final pieces. Many students request change inside of a school. I had a few letters requesting or questioning, why don't we get pizza every day for lunch? So I thought this would be a great place to start. I plan to use this unit and collaborate with the other third grade teachers. I'd like to start off by defining curriculum inside of our school. The who and why are big picture items that encompass our students and our mission. Who are our learners and what needs do they have? Why? Why do we exist as a school? And does our mission support our curriculum? The what, whether, and how are all interconnected components with each impacting the other. What? What do we expect our students to know and be like? This piece relates to the standards and benchmarks, outcomes, the essential questions. It's where do we want our students to be when they finish at ISG Jubeo? Whether or not the students have learned the what is the assessment that we use and feedback we share. How do we get students to understand the what and perform the whether? How do we plan for meaningful teaching and learning activities in the classroom? These are the day-to-day lessons. The standard that I will focus on come from Common Core. Students will write opinion pieces on topics or texts supporting a point of view with reasons. Students will understand that writers persuade readers through speech writing. Writers raise the level of their persuasive writing. Writers explore transforming persuasive speech into different forms for opinion writing. Letter, petitions, editorials. Writers work together to research, write, and inform others about a cause. Students will be able to independently use their learning to write persuasive speeches to move others to a new way of thinking. Activity 1. I always begin my mini lesson with a connection. Tell writers a story about a time someone you know said, "Look," and got others to pay attention to something wonderful. I want to teach you that people can look at what's there in the world and see not what's broken, but what's beautiful. And seeing beauty, celebrating beauty, making the world a better place. Next is my teaching by modeling. Demonstrate the strategy of collecting things you think are wonderful that deserves more attention and recognition. A persuasive writer develops ideas for writing by seeing people, places, things, or ideas that are noteworthy and helping others see them too. I thought, what person is noteworthy? Who is especially worthy of me noticing? My teacher, the custodian, the principal, security officers. Debrief quickly, pointing out steps you have taken that you want others to follow, then channel writers to follow those steps. I'm going to list a few people across my fingers. Demonstrate choosing a person on your list and beginning an entry about the person. I think I'll choose our custodian. Now, let me list a few reasons why he is wonderful. Then begin talking about and writing. Everyone should appreciate Mr. Grish, the school custodian. Mr. Grish is wonderful because he takes such a good care of our school. He comes in every day after the kids leave to sweep and polish all the classrooms and hallways. Also, Mr. Grish does a lot of things to keep our school running smoothly. I could keep going and going about Mr. Grish and how wonderful he is. I'll finish this entry a little later. Next is the active engagement. Set students up to begin writing their own entries about a person they want the others to appreciate. Jot names on your notebooks of people you want others to appreciate. Choose one person and say your opinion about that person and list some reasons. After you think of your first reason, give details that say more about the reason. When done, share your entry with your writing partner. Make sure there's a nice bold thesis and some reasons to support the thesis. Link. Set writers up to go off and write today. Drawing on any of the strategies they have learned for getting started on opinion writing. Partners. Choose writers to read their speeches out loud to the partners, listening of how they sound. Activity 2. Beginning with the connection. Establish the reason for today's lesson. Writers need the chance to practice unfamiliar writing structures. Teaching point. Today, I want to teach you that speech writing is a kind of opinion writing. The writer or speaker puts forth an opinion, a thesis statement, and then give reasons, details, and examples that support the opinion. The tricky part is that the writer or speaker has to choose reasons that will convince his or her audience. Teaching active engagement. Teach through the guided practice. Take children through multiple cycles. Channel them to plan with a partner. Then to write in the air while you coach. Give children a thesis statement and channel them to generate reasons, keeping the audience in mind. Set up members of the class to write in the air their own version of the essay's first paragraph. Then convene the class and elect from students the first part of shared essay. Debrief. Show the class what the writer did that are hoping all writers to have learned to do. Set children up to write in the air the next paragraph. Doing this with your partner, support again. Assessment time. Students will use a kind-friendly rubric to help their writing along the way. This will help drive conferences and create differential instruction. The rubric will be used to see the progression